All right, so enough about all that recapping, though. We got a match, obviously, to talk about here now. Now, NoPango versus Spirit. We're already in that third pick. We got a Grimstroke. I'm almost a little surprised he was left open that long, but Grimstroke to go with the Tusk Nature's Prophet opening. As far as the Sven Darkseer opening, that's an interesting one from Team Spirit, too.
Yeah, most likely the support Sven that some teams have been kind of playing around with. I think that's something Spirit have done themselves, but great synergy with the Darkseer. You vacuum into the Sven stun. This even back when Sven was almost entirely played as a carry was a very common combo, going back to like 2012, 2013. So very, very strong pairing here, and kind of just showcasing some of the new stuff that this patch has to offer. Darkseer's been a pretty prominent pick, as is the Sven. And I think Spirit have a kind of interesting idea with their opening two heroes.
Yeah, Darkseer.
Pengu?
Oh, no,
go ahead. Sorry. No.
I was just going to say, with Darkseer there, it's been interesting seeing this hero kind of make, once again, a resurgence onto the scene, specifically with how that surge works. It was toned down a little bit, but I know obviously the pairing of Spirit Breaker definitely comes to mind, and it's been a lot of fun to watch, zooming around the map like crazy. But yeah, very interested to see the Sven partner, as you mentioned, with that support role even, coming out as a Terrorblade. There we go. That's a hero we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, Sven had some changes himself, so I think he's almost more suited to being a support than he used to be.
Yeah.
With the new Warcry, I think I've seen him kind of more as a 5, like just playing in this safe lane where you just run at these offlaners and stun them, and you're kind of tanky. But we'll see exactly how it's going to work. Big carries coming out. TB versus Morphling. I feel like, are we on a new patch? I feel like we always had this TB versus Morphling, but
oh man,
these heroes, of course, not quite what they used to be.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I obviously saying that sarcastically. With the whole Terrorblade, it's still a thing. And I feel like past 7.20, there were expectations of starting to see new ones, but at the same time, when you really look at it, again, Terrorblade, Phantom Lancer, these heroes didn't necessarily get nerfed. It's just everyone else got buffed. So Terrorblade specifically is still a very strong hero when it comes to a skill set, so we're obviously still seeing plenty of him. But yeah, as you mentioned, Morphling matchup against him, of course, good for his own reasons. So we still get these matchups here, but a different flow of the game overall because of the changes.
Yeah. Oh, and also we're seeing these heroes picked because these better carries now are actually banned. Like the Medusa is like probably one of the scariest carries right now. Jug, Anti-Mage, PL. I mean, PL is not the new carry, but the Jug and the Anti-Mage are kind of the new carries right now. So it's not like these teams wanted TB Morphling regardless. I imagine they were kind of eyeing off some of those other more trendy heroes, but they get banned. So, well, you go back to a TB. It's not exciting, but, it gets the job done.
Yeah. So, Earthspear, that fourth pick. But going back to the earlier picks, though, we didn't really talk about two yet for NoPango. Nature's Prophet thrown in there after the Tusk as, oh my god, that's going to be Huskar, by the way. We got to look over that real quickly.
There you go.
Huskar final pick. Always fun as that quote-unquote cheese option. Now, Huskar is interesting with his changes, though. The idea that he has that new knockback with the disarm kind of gives him a little more utility, but he's not as... He's a little more potent to be bursted now by magic damage, of course, is the downside with that change. So I'm rambling on, man. These guys are drafting fast. We got Batrider as the final pick. All right, so now we get an overview here. What do you think as far as the draft finish?
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams look pretty well rounded. I think team fight wise, Dire, Team Spirit have a bit scary of a team fight with the Darkseer synergy with the Earth Spirit as well as the Sven. They've got good kind of AoE spells to synergize with the vacuum, but if Morphling has a good game, he can kind of theoretically have a 1v5 kind of game. I know Bryo's actually standing in. That's a surprise I wasn't expecting. It looks like Team Spirit not playing with their full lineup. At least that's the name I think I saw underneath his hero. I think he's standing in for the mid laner.
Okay, well, for Team Spirit 9 is their normal mid laner.
Yeah,
he's up there on those European ladder boards constantly, so that's going to be an interesting change of pace, to say the least. But
Brow's a good stand-in option. Obviously, it's never going to be quite as good as the real thing. I think few stand-ins can, improve a team that's playing at this level. Maybe you could argue someone like Mind Control with NIP, but it's obviously not going to be Spirit in their strongest form. But yeah, draft-wise, should be interesting. I don't feel like I have a full grasp of what this patch looks like right now, so it's kind of hard to look at two drafts and feel strongly one way or the other. But we'll see how things go.
Hey, look at the odds on your screen right there. We got the favorite NoPango. You mentioned their victory over VP recently, so a hot team right now. But you take a look at those odds. If you like those odds, you can head over to es.bet, of course, where they also give special insurance for all your bets. by the way, for the WePlay Winter Madness matches. Again, it started a couple days ago. We're going through these next couple of days for the groups, and then into next week. So you get plenty of chances to head over to es.bet and put those bets in there. So.
Did your Christmas look as nice and well laid out as their set over there in Russia or Ukraine? Ukraine?
Just about, yeah. We didn't have that fake fire in the background. We had the real thing, okay. So we had that going for us.
So you one up them, basically.
One up them there, yeah. I did go to an Ugler sweater party this year. Actually, I got a nice Grinch sweater I was able to put on and take advantage of. So that was fun, at least. Oh, these guys are cozy, man.
Yeah, it really looks like a good, nice, fun way to enjoy Dota. So
yeah, makes me want to go get my blanket over here and cozy up on the chair. But all right, so we should be jumping into the game one though. Again of today, we got 5 best of ones that will be coming at you here, and yeah, it goes without saying, guys. Obviously, we're watching the CIS broadcast team right here, so we got a dog even enjoying on in the party.
Yeah,
ready to watch some Dota here.
Maybe a third co-caster in the mix.
All right, get some
good
insight.
Telling Breaky before the Saturday, if my dog doesn't behave, I may have to go to the office tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
I look forward to the third insight there and see what he brings to the table. All right, so as far as early action goes, GoDz's already applying the sticky napalms to RMN is running in, but again, it is going to be the support Sven. You mentioned the whole war cry change to the hero and just how he works now. And I would be curious. I haven't necessarily been seeing a lot of these support Sven games, but the potential for even something like an Ags later on, is that something that we could see, or is that a pipe dream?
I think it's more a pipe dream. I don't think it's like a core item that you have to be getting. So probably see more just standard. And I think even as the support Sven, it may be more a 5 position, so you're not really getting that kind of farm. It is a nice luxury item, but I think unless you get into those like 60+ minute games, it's probably not happening.
Bounty runes to start. Doesn't look like much contesting going to be going on. It's just going to simply be the 2 for 2 here between the two teams. So, of course, NoPango on the left, playing the Radiant Team Spirit on that Dire. So, yeah, that final pick Batrider response, it seemed like NoPango was very confident with the Batrider in response to that Husker. As you see, top lane, tag team activated. This is such a strong combo, by the way. You see Darks here. Yeah, he had no other choice but to TP right there, or else he is 100% dead. So he did TP to the tower. He's going to pop some salve and get back.
Similar thing bottom, though. It's like GoDz got very low himself. They're tri-laning down here, so he's going to be having a pretty rough time. They were confident about the Batrider pick, but they're going to see the Batrider under a lot of pressure early on. I think they were hoping to see his lane matchup maybe a little bit different.
He might be dead. This might be first blood coming out. In fact, mine turns into absolutely, as Bryle will get credit for that first blood right there. So, yeah, you mentioned Bryle standing in, of course, a North American player even, standing in for this event. So, interesting there. I'm sure dealing with a little bit of latency, but ultimately not nearly enough to affect him there. I guess Husker not a hero that he's all too concerned with in that case.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, down there playing a Husker in a tri-lane, maybe not the hardest job, at least as a stand-in. At least you're playing, you're playing with 2 supports. So, although often you see stand-ins kind of put in those solo lanes so they can do their own thing, but I don't think Bryle's going to have too many problems meshing with this team. I believe they speak English already because they're a mix of nationalities. FNG speaks very good English.
Oh yeah.
Even though he's a CIS player, then you've got a German player, a Slovakian I think is Oliver. I can't remember, but he's Eastern European as well. So it's a bit of a mix.
I know Biver as well specifically. I talked with him a little bit, in fact. So these lanes, by the way, this is really interesting because we got a mid Terrorblade versus a Nature's Prophet in the mid lane. What the hell is going on in this game?
Yeah, Nature's Prophet's a great 1v1 laner, including in the mid lane. You get those treants, you're pretty much last hitting most things there, although TB, pretty good himself, has the illusions to get a Culling Blade. But more action down bottom.
Roll into Biver. Going to slow things down a little bit right there. Biver, he's dead. That sticky napalm adds up, and of course, sitting on top of them with that Firefly, no chance. They're going to roll in at the bottom lane with Tusk as well, so I want to go back to that. Yeah, you see Huskar. Okay, Bryle is fine, but you have the TP support coming in. So it's changing it up a little bit now. Zayak, of course, coming bottom, so it does end up a dual lane down here. Going away from that trial lane, at least one of that initial kill, which they didn't get, but hey, they're going at the bottom, so that works too.
Yeah. The really bad news for Spirit is this top lane where Morphling is free farming and getting all these denies. Darkseer, the fact he got harassed so much at level 1 and had to TP the lane, he used his salve, and then he instantly got low again, means he's not being able to contest the farm whatsoever. Morphling against Iron Shell, it's so easy to get those denies with your base damage and you just shift Agi. and you get extra value from all your tangos and regen, so you don't mind if you take Iron Shell damage. Means he's just crushing. Very, very easy lane for Naive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nature's Prophet and Terrorblade, though, for now, contesting in CS. I'm taking a look at that, and both around the 18-17 CS mark, so doing very good. Top lane, Slayer, trying to get out of here. The hammer comes in. We're not going for the bounty route yet, so not sure where Slayer was ultimately trying to go other than just simply get away. And, well, he's going to get away in the sense of resurrection, as 5 more seconds he'll be back up. But Husker finds another kill, and, of course, that's nothing but great news for Team Spirit here.
Yeah, Spirit getting the kills and the advantage and perhaps the bottom lane making up for that top lane, although Husker not exactly CSing all that well. You can see even though they've got this 2-to-1 kill advantage, they are slightly behind on gold as a result of both Morphling and Nature's Prophet doing well in their lanes. Even Batrider is actually not doing all too bad, so perhaps this is where that, you mentioned the latency factor, maybe that's kicking in a bit with Husker, who's not an easy hero to get those last hits on.
Yeah. And keep an eye on that, how that progresses. But he's going to go for more kills. I guess that's one way to make sure you get some of that farm. Gostic, no chance of getting away. Simply going to accept death, do as much damage in return. You have the TP in from Grimstoke as well. But, again, not enough return damage. Sven able to fall back despite those sticky napalms. And that's a 3rd kill, I want to say, for Brile now, kicking in. So, yeah, if you're going to be lacking the CS, at least getting hero kills is a way to do it. And NoPango's not afraid to fight into it.
He's getting all the last hits, which is really important. Sometimes you play these carries who you're forcing a trialing where you have to fight and you're missing last hits for it. And if you're not getting the last hits on those kills, it really cripples your farm a lot. Yeah, your supports are maybe a little bit happier, but if you're not getting kills to secure farm, you're just getting kills for the sake of kills, your carry needs to be getting them. So they've got that going for them.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about Naive, though. We slightly mentioned him earlier, but yeah, his CS is fantastic. 29-20, off to a fantastic start. And it goes back to, as well, the response pick to this Terrorblade here. How impactful do you expect that to be for NoPango? Is that going to be a massive issue for this Terrorblade? As Joe Rotten, well, that's even more farm for the Morphling, as he gets the credit for the kill.
That was the bounty runes. I don't know if he got at least one of them. I don't know if he got the one on the other side, but he's just been bullying this Darkseer wherever he goes. Morphling's not like a super hard counter to the TB by any means. It's like a good matchup and all, like that's why it's often picked into it, but it's not like the TB just feels like he can't play Dota because there's a Morphling in the game.
Yeah. Top lane, Brile. He uses that inner fire, I believe it's called a push back right there, but it's not nearly enough. Just running him down with the sticky napalm and the Firefly, but they do lose a Batrider in response, and they're also going to lose Zayak on that Tusk as well. So good job by Sven getting in there and laying down that hammer, and obviously Darkseer assisting after his death at the bottom lane. So
yeah, sometimes dying's good. You respawn and suddenly there's a 2v2 underneath a tower that you can TP to, and you're like, oh sweet, I just died. I need a TP to a lane, so I'll TP top. Problem is now he's top lane where his carry is, so he needs to figure out who's going to go bottom, because this bottom lane is still free farm for Morphling, and I think the answer to that question is there's not really anyone on the Dire side who can contest Morphling's lane anymore. He's just too far ahead.
What do we expect to see Morphling build, by the way? It's interesting to always follow. I feel like the whole shotgun build has kind of fallen off a little bit. We see more of this whole Manta, etc.
Yeah, some like Dragonlance Mantas and SMYs have even started coming out, like these early game stats fighting builds where you play around your ultimate a bit more. Could be on the table. I can't really say. I think Lincoln's is always amazing. I think often against the TB specifically to stop the Sunder, you want to go Lincoln's, so that probably features somewhere in this item build.
Wrapping around here at the top lane, Sven, they're diving in with that Darkseer assistance of the Iron Shells. You can see Earth Spirit going to roll on over, stop the TP out from Zayak. However, RMN doesn't look like he's in nearly as good of a spot, although setting up a turn kill perhaps. Nice snowball save, and now Brile's in trouble. Push back with the inner fire, gets one kill onto the Batrider there, but he's going to lose his own life as a result. So, man, these two teams are not afraid to combat at this top lane. That's where all the action's at, while the other carries, I suppose, farm elsewhere with Terrorblade and Morphling for the time being.
Yeah, wherever Brile goes, it's just like there's action there. He's playing this Husker. He's not getting the perhaps easy free farm that Huskers sometimes want early on, but he's doing well enough. I think he's going to be a little bit concerned anytime he looks over at this Morphling and sees, just this free farm, treads, double Wraith Band, the Mask of Madness, Morbid Mask casually, just to give him some extra farm too.
Terrorblade trying to go for a play on him, but he's ready with that Quelling Blade to eat through the trees. Top lane, Darkseer. Surge is not going to be enough when you're stunned in place. Well done by the Tusk there specifically to keep him locked down, in a great tree block as well as Nature's Prophet TP's in, and that's one thing I was going to mention. We haven't talked too much about NP yet, but obviously this is a hero that you get 6, 7 in that mark. He starts teleporting around with that early item build, and he can definitely set up some kills as, well, hence right there. So he's going to be this active core for NoPango that they're looking to take advantage of.
Yeah, I was curious to see what items he's going for in the phase boots, the start, the nulls, pretty normal stuff, but he's got a Vlad's first queued up. They want to play super fast, so definitely no Ethereal Blade Morphling. He had the Manta style queued up, so I think they just want to take Roche early, push down all these towers. They feel like they've got the early game draft, and I think they kind of do. As much as, the Morphling versus TB matchup can be kind of good for the Morphling, I don't think you want to go super late game against this, Darkseer teamfight combo with a TB late game. I think you feel much better about your chances in the mid game.
And I think you see that idea coming together, because not only with this more of the early game draft, but the one early game core that they had, the Huskar on the other side that can snowball out of control, they've addressed several times now. They're not afraid to fight. As I say this, Huskar is going to go in with his team support and get the easy kill and a Grimstroke there, but it's just a Grimstroke kill. Skitter does take out the tower kill. You do see the top lane being pushed in by NoPango in the meantime, but again, it goes back to that logic. We're locking down Huskar. Let's get that early Vlads and push objectives, knowing Terrorblade is going to need some time, but you have to address the Terrorblade at least a little bit, it feels like, and right now he's just going off as now they catch Gostic up here. Siler's coming in, but it's not going to be nearly enough with just the trees going up, so another kill for Spirit, and they take over the hero kill lead now.
Yes. Spirit's making some good moves. Oh, more action as Iron Man going to go down. Zayt's traded as well. This is just constant bloodbath both ways. Spirit getting the slightly better off these trade, only losing their support Sven, so they won't be too unhappy about this. But still, Morphling, he's coming online soon-ish. I just like that Spirit, they're willing to give up this top lane. They even gave up a tier 2, just knowing that, you can't win all 3 lanes at all times. At some point, you're going to have to give up something to, take something a bit bigger, and that's what they're doing here. They're getting more kills. They take control of the bottom side of the map, and even around the middle, they manage to find some kills as well.
So those 10-minute bounty runes coming in, so Naive, in fact, picks up his at the top lane and goes right back to farming. We are going to see that Manta style. Good old double Wraithband first, but into the Manta next, and yeah, he'll be taking advantage of that. Batrider's also another interesting one to continue to look at, and notice his progression. It's been a little slower, only 2,500 net worth, so no initiation from him just yet. I feel like they really need that Blink Dagger before they can feel absolutely comfortable as far as picking up these fights and then continuing to push as a team. Because without that Blink Dagger, specifically on the Batrider, excuse me, they don't really have that strong of the initiation yet.
No, and that's where I think they're happy to, just play these small pick-off games. They're not looking for big 5-mans, but they will take these little picks where they can. Yeah. That's the TB that you wanted to see get addressed, and, well, he gets deleted with no chance to use Asunder. Really nicely played there, and I think that gives NoPango a big edge to maybe make a move towards either this mid lane or top side of the map.
Well, speaking of moving, we're moving right here. Warcry is going to be activated to run away more so, but Tusk going to try to prevent that great shard block on RMN. TP in front of the Nature's Prophet, and RMN just going to run at them, basically make a point. Okay, you got me. Oh, what was Huskar doing? Bryle, yeah, he went a little too deep right there, and they're going to make him pay for it. Skinner comes into the last second as well, pops his reflection, and may be enough actually in the end to save him. So Huskar will survive, but that was a very close call to losing a very important core when it wasn't even necessary. But they do lose in mid-tier 1 tower. And yeah, this momentum with that early Vlad's pickup, you're feeling it from NoPango right now.
Yeah, and it all starts with the TB pick off top. Like, they kill him and they know, okay, we got this big kill, TB's out of the picture, let's collapse on this mid lane. We've already taken both towers up top, so there's no reason to stick around top lane. We're better off taking this tier 1, and now Roshan looks very appetizing for NoPango. Taken the mid and the top tower. There is still the shrine kind of nearby, but with some good wards, they should be able to take Roche pretty early.
Kind of controlling that area for now. Double damage rune is going to spawn for Nature's Prophet, so he'll pick that up, and maybe look to go to the top lane, because it's been about 30 seconds, God, so another fight's breaking out as Tusk, he's going to be the easy kill, it seems like. It should be, at least. Don't tell me he's actually getting away. Okay, magnetize, if anything, snowball in. He's still alive, are you kidding me? Tusk is going to survive. No, he refreshes it, and he secures the kill. Whew. I mean, the fact it took that long, though, I think is a victory for the Tusk no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think he minds too much. I mean, he's tipping back, so I think that's his way of saying, oh, yeah, you got me, but do we really care if you're tipping the other team when you die? So, meanwhile, his teammates are pushing this tier 2 bottom tower and perhaps killing up Ral, who just TP'd in to his own death. No, he's actually okay.
Well, he was expecting a team support, and he eventually got it just a little bit later than maybe he wanted. Brile taking down the fire still, but I think he is going to survive when it's all said and done. Nature's Prophet TP's away. Well, he's still trying to run, in fact. Puts a Sprout up, and now hoping to get that TP up, but no, Viver lands the roll, and they will indeed get the kill on Nature's Prophet for 322 gold to go figure. But yeah, Brian, we'll call it absolute planned bait right there, because that was a little scary initially, and you can understand that maybe it was a bad position, but ultimately it worked out pretty well for Team Spirit even.
Yeah, it looks a bit dicey when you just, TP in a 3-4 enemy heroes, but he's a Husker. He's pretty tanky. Has some of his early game items up, and this is a Vlad's on a Nature's Prophet, so it's not like the scariest right-click build coming out from him specifically. It's just like team pushing item, so they didn't quite have the damage to bring him down there.
Once again, you look at the es.bet odds. You can head to the website there. You get that insurance as well for the WePlay Winter Madness Tournament. Right now, NoPango favorite. It continues to be the same odds at the beginning of the game, and I'd say Team Spirit, they it's a little bit closer than I think that gives them credit for, because you do have the Terrorblade factor, and as long as he's getting okay farm, which he is, then if this game goes 30 minutes plus and they're still at least in it, you always got to be worried about that. But here's that Roshan you were mentioning.
Yeah, I think the results seem a bit right. I think I'd favor NoPango a little bit more because of how much control they have over the map, the fact they can take Roche with such ease, and then also just the fact that Morphling is so far ahead. I mean, TP can become a problem, absolutely, but right now he needs to catch up.
Oh, Slayer, he's in problems. It's pushed back into a death trap right there, so easy kill again onto him. You see the Husker item progression even with the Armlet. And now the Dragon Lance queued up. So pretty typical stuff from Bra right there. But you're right, man. Looking at that Morphling farm, holy crap. I didn't realize how far ahead he was. 9,300 net worth. The next closest is his teammate at 6,700. So this Morphling absolutely getting out of control in favor of NoPango. And as they continue to move around the map. And there are still 2 towers up, both the mid and the bottom lane. You got to figure that's where the Radiant team is headed next. One of those 2.
Yeah, with this Aegis, they're not looking to sit back. They want to play aggressive, even if it's not finding kills, taking towers, putting wards down to set up later kills. It's definitely kind of up to them to make those next big moves. And the great thing is with that lineup, Nature's Prophet, very mobile, global presence, so they can kind of push out these lanes while, grouping up somewhere as well for a tower push.
Yeah. Ooh, and there's that Blink Dagger. So yeah, he hasn't had it until now, and honestly, 15.5 minute Blink Dagger, not the worst thing ever. So GoDz setting up here at the top lane, waiting for some support. That Tusk coming in. Remember, they have Nature's Prophet as well. Brawl, he's in trouble. He got low now. He is able to get the armlet toggle off. He has some wand charges. And he's going to pop that heal, so he turns back in. There's that TP from Nature's Prophet, though, in the Walrus Punch to finish the job. Skitter coming over, though, pops Reflection. They already got the kill on a Bat Rider, and the nice stop from Biver on a Nature's Prophet. Pushes him over to R-Man. They trap him in. He trees himself right there, but that was definitely not going to work. And now Morphling comes in. Naive taking over the Terrorblade and trying to use him against him. Going to throw out that Adaptive Strike, but Naive, yeah, he's the one that has to be careful. He does have an Aegis, as well as a Manta still to use. Soulbind in the backlines. A double side's coming up, and Naive still in trouble. Away from him at the last second. He gets very low into 1 life with that agility shift, but he will survive in the end. A great getaway from him right there, but Team Spirit still feeling pretty good about this fight. Slayer even goes down. You see Naive, obviously he's healing up right now, but Tusk is going to die as well, so Team Spirit absolutely getting the better of that exchange.
Yeah, they're still trying to chase with this Aegis. I don't know if this is going to go all too well for them, but Bat Rider blinks in, stops the roll, and actually they probably going to get at least a kill on Biver out of this, so nice little pick up in the end for NoPango, but the fact Spirit get that teamfight winning instant Aegis is fantastic. They completely bait the Husker again. That's just been the way they kind of structure these fights, put Husker out there and being near-ish enough by him. Like, they're not right on top of him, but the second he gets gone, everyone rotates in. TB's coming with Metamorph. They're ready to teamfight the second Bryo's baited.
Yeah, nothing like being a stand-in for a team and where your whole job is apparently just to bait out fights for the teammates to pick right there and take advantage of. And it seems like Brawl has been a big part of that, playing this Huskar. But again, it's kind of worked out, but you still look at the big picture. You still have this Morphling getting the farm that he's getting, and he still has the Aegis on top of all of that. So indeed, they are going to push a tier 2 objective as they head towards mid, and that should be a free tower kill and even maybe hero kill on top of that. RMN going to be caught by the Bat Rider lasso, and despite his war cry, there's no chance to get away there.
Yeah. I think they tried to get a bit too cute to kill Husker up top. They're like, okay, Batrider got this blink. He's going to set up. The Tusk TP's in. Nature's Prophet uses teleportation. When really, this is what they should have just been doing, going straight down the mid lane. And they can do this now because the meta's on cooldown as well. So meta before wasn't on cooldown. They went straight down mid before. It would not have been as simple as just getting a tier 2 tower like that. But once some of those cooldowns are used, NoPango know they have a good way to make objectives fall.
And I think Knife still had the Terrorblade morph there at the last second, so even popped a reflection, but ultimately is having to fall back as they got the tier 2 and got the initial objective that they wanted. He does pick up the 15 more seconds as well of that morph duration, so no doubt it's going to be the Terrorblade, the focus choice here that he will be looking for. But I also noticed an Orchid is coming along for Nature's Prophet, so another item that we definitely have to look out for specifically for NoPango to take advantage of this game.
That'll be helpful against these annoying spellcasters like the Earth Spirit and the Darkseer. These heroes who are just using a lot of spells in fights. If you go on them, they've got ways to escape. So having the Orchid to hunt them down can make a big difference. I imagine TB, I believe, has a Manta style already, so he's not going to really be too exposed to it. But it's still a nice item to have.
Yeah. You got the Ion Shells being thrown up. Centaur being controlled right there. You got Ion Shell on him as well, so I'm guessing Darkseer has that Helm of the Dominator here and trying to take advantage.
Pretty sure it's the standard Darkseer item still these days. But no one coming into well, I say their jungle, it's not really their jungle, but they've taken over it. Both teams will play the opposing team's side of the map, knowing that's kind of where they want to be, pressuring lanes and just forcing these objectives. And for Team Spirit, they don't really care about their jungle being taken over right now because Roche isn't there. If Roche is coming up right away, then they'd be more worried about this, but as it stands, it's not a big deal.
Top lane, they're going in here on the side of NoPango. In fact, I hear Lasso, yeah, they catch RMN, the support Sven right there, but the Centaur comes out with the Stomp, the Soulbind throwing up on Brile as well as RMN, but they already lost the Batrider. Here comes a double Walrus Punch, though, but the follow-up is very lacking. Yeah, it looks like NoPango going a little too deep right there. That started with the Batrider. They're going to lose 3 in the end, it seems like. Slayer also going to be a victim. Knife should be able to get away, though, with that waveform as Nature's Prophet teleports out himself. But yeah, that was clearly a very ambitious decision by Batrider that backfired.
Yeah, I think you can kind of point your finger a bit at GoDz there. He's had a pretty good game on the Batrider, but that there kind of he baited his team. That wasn't Team Spirit doing anything too fancy. That was him blinking way too far into the enemy base. Tusk is like, okay, I guess we're going in. I'm going to go in too. He dies. Grimstroke dies, and it really came down to them just trying to force it a bit too much. I think partly they feel like they're itemizing to be this mid game lineup. They don't want it to go too late game with Vlad's Nature's Prophet build. So they are putting a bit more pressure on themselves than they need to, particularly when the Aegis is no longer in their hands. They should just be looking at Roche number 2, Aegis and Cheese. Get your BKBs, whatever your next couple of items are going to be. You can still kind of wait for them.
Yeah. My apologies, guys. I am trying to turn the sound up a little bit, the best that I can right here, so hopefully that is a little bit better for you as far as the audio goes. I am paying attention, so making some adjustments here. Anyways, Prowl top lane. I think this one's a dead Huskar. Yeah, no chance this time. No teammates really nearby. As well, I guess there was one, but Armin, he TP's out before he gets caught himself. But
perhaps a problem, with constantly having these successful baits, you maybe gets a bit overconfident. Like, every time I'm out here farming, my team bails me out, and this time they're not in a position to do so.
Yeah. They're going to keep pushing top lane. Again, Scotty now on Morphling, as you see right there, so absolutely a beast. Yeah, it's only about 22 minutes into this game. Roshan potentially could be respawning in the next 30 seconds or so. We'll keep an eye on that to see how long it looks like it's going to take. But I got to think that's what NoPango's ultimately waiting for here. They have a great Roshan killer team, as they've already shown, control that dire map, and then eventually get a second Roshan for the Cheese and the Aegis.
Yeah, and that's, I think, where a kill like that is really big for NoPango, is they weren't really looking to push high ground anyway without the Aegis Cheese. So the fact they can find key pickoffs like that during this downtime makes a big difference. It's going to set Team Spirit back. It's going to allow them to get some more wards up on the map and just deal with some of that creep wave pressure that keeps kind of plaguing them a bit, particularly the spot lane where Batrider's now trying to make his little new home.
Yeah. It's the thing with Sven, though, too. When it comes to being a support hero, I guess RMN is technically their position 5, though, isn't he? I was going to say. I guess Biver is more of their 4 position, soaking up more of the farm. So Sven really is just a true support here.
Absolutely. He's just going to be using his 2 spells in these team fights. I say 2 because his ultimate probably not going to offer a whole lot. He's popped in 1 or 2 fights, but he's not really getting the right clicks.
You're not the most intimidated by that Sven as you usually would be in the core Sven games, of course, when he pops that God Strength. But BKBs are going to be important items here for Team Spirit, and I believe Huskar is just about finished with this, if not finished. And then you have Skitter, who is working on his now, playing the Terror Blade. So we're going to hit that timing. So they still have another couple of minutes before at least both cores have it. Again, as far as Roshan is concerned, it seems like maybe another 45 seconds or so. So it ended up being a fairly longer Roshan respawn. And right now, Team Spirit, they're going to head towards that area again. They are pretty dark in that area. So for all they know what's going on right now, they're going to smoke up and act like, you know, maybe it was, but it's not. They did have a catapult in there, actually, so they knew.
Yeah, they want to get down some wards here, I imagine, since they can scout it, and they're hoping to win a fight and they like see Roche respawn, but they've got to deal with bottom lane. That's Treants, a Morphling, Morphling Realist, and top lane. Like, both bottom and top are in a pretty terrible spot right now for Team Spirit. They're giving up a lot of base damage.
Well, Nature's Prophet, that's what he's best at, right? That whole rat game now. Also, ideally he gets out, but Biver is able to catch him, so I guess they make him pay for killing that Tier 3 tower, and that's 615 gold going the way of Earth Spirit right there. I don't know. I would think Team Spirit's happy with that kill, of course, even losing the Tier 3.
Yeah, it depends what happens next, kind of thing. You know, if suddenly Spirit get Roshan because Prophet's dead, yeah, Roche actually just respawned, then yeah, Spirit's very happy. But if, you know, nothing happens off of the kill and then suddenly you let NoPango take out your shrines because you lost the Tier 3 tower, that's when you're kind of like, oh, well, yeah, we killed him that one time, but suddenly we lost our shrines, we lost all this map control, and it's not going to look too good for them.
You look at that Eagle song now picked up by Morphling, so he is just around the corner from that Ethereal Blade. And that heavy burst on top of already just being a sturdy core is going to be something that Team Spirit has to deal with, of course. And I assume Nature's Prophet also progressing beyond that Orchid that he had earlier. We'll get an eye on that in a second, I'm sure. But you do see the BKB finished on Huskar there. But here's Roshan, and here we go. It looks like NoPango's right on top of it.
Yeah, they will be contested, though, it looks like. Spirit making their way in.
Heading over. You got Huskar leading the way. It's no surprise there. Brown ready to jump in, but yeah, NoPango's not going to make it easy. They actually fall back. They say, all right, you're willing to contest this. We're going to have to respect that and simply keep some room here. They do finish the Ethereal Blade on Morphling, though, in the meantime, so maybe, if anything, waiting for that. They're looking for a jump, though. You see GoDz lining up. Or they get somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, who did they catch? They lasted in somebody, and now they're going to respond. RMN gets caught, though. It looks like he was one that was last. Out of Brile pops his BKB. They get the turn kill onto the Bat Rider there. Vacuum with the wall, though. It is lag central, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to lose the Grimstroke there. Buyback from Bat Rider. So far, looking pretty good for the Dire team, though. That vacuum wall combination coming out big from Hesta Joe Rotten, and now it's the turn for Team Spirit to try to take Roshan for themselves. Multiple buybacks on the side of NoPango, though.
Yeah. And they're still looking to hunt down these NoPango heroes.
GoDz. Yeah, pushed away in the background. Looks like Huskar is dealing with somebody else, but that's going to be a dieback, remember. Biver trying to roll out now. Double kill for Naive. Meanwhile, back there, Huskar did go down to the Darkseer on top of that, and now Earth Spirit also falls. Look at Naive. He is an absolute beast. He obviously takes over, morphs into the Terror Blade as expected, and he was just wrecking the course of the back lines while Team Spirit got distracted. Everyone buys back. RMN, he is going to die, and he is out for 30 seconds, but that absolutely is an ultra kill for Morphling there. Holy crap, they do not want to give up this Roshan.
No, I think they know how low Naive's Morphling was, so they're like, okay, he can't really heal himself back up. He does have Morbid Mask. Yeah, Jace buy back, Chase Storm, Team Spirit could buy back and just go straight into Roche themselves.
Well, Brile, he's going to get caught out initially, but Bobside BKB jumps in now. Tuz going to delay this as much as possible as he snowballs. You see Naive on the outskirts. As you mentioned, he is pretty low on life, so has to be somewhat careful with this, and this could work out for Team Spirit because of that. So Morphling figuring, does he go back in? He goes back into Terror Blade, pops Reflection, trying to get the vision of anything. The big burst on a Biver with the Ethereal Blade, and eventual Q from the Grimstroke gets the kill, and they also lose Darkseer on top of that. That was
so good. They used the Sprout to get vision, and now they're not done. Naive's still hunting. He's going to get more here.
Oh, Brawl's going to lose as well, and Naive ultimately comes through. But you mentioned that was really more so the Nature's Prophet as he gets multiple of those kills in the Sprout Vision, and they're going to pick off Sven to end it. Oh, it's going to be a disaster for Team Spirit, and just like that, the game could absolutely be over.
That looked like a smart call to go into Roshan. This Morphling is so low. Morphling couldn't fight there, but what he did is get vision from Nature's Prophet from the Sprout, and then you'll see here again, there's a replay. The reflection from outside the Roche pit gave him a lot of damage, and the Sprout Vision let him use an Ethereal Blade combo. He just destroyed them from outside the pit.
Yeah. And this was Naive earlier in that fight, in fact, cleaning up. Like we said, we were watching the whole Bat Rider trying to get away and everything, eventually dying. But meanwhile, Morphling was cleaning up. The GGs are called. That is it. Just like that, NoPango takes the victory. And yeah, smart call by Team Spirit, sure, but ultimately not the best of execution, and more so great outplay from the side of NoPango at that Roshan fight. And we knew the second Roshan was going to be big. I can't say I saw it absolutely being game-ending, but that's exactly what was the case there in favor of NoPango, of course.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think it's easy to kind of sit back and think that Roche was maybe a dumb call with those 4 buybacks, whatever it was, but it honestly looked like a pretty decent decision before that, you know, really, like you say, the outplay happened. It was just that. There's Nature's Prophet on the outside. The fact Morphling has the talent for the increased morph duration means he's still got the TP reflection to play around with. They get vision, they reflect, they then use the Ethereal Blade combo to kill one. Roche then helps them kill the Darkseer. Suddenly 2 are dead. And once it's now a, 2v2 with Morphling, Nature's Prophet instead of a 4v2, because they got these pickoffs from the outside, it's a very different fight.
Well, fight goes well for NoPango in the long run. He obviously naived a big part of that, playing the Morphling, and ultimately leading them to victory for that game number 1. So these are best of 1, so obviously game 1 in the series in that case against Team Spirit. So they start out 1-0. Team Spirit 0-1. Still plenty of room to make up, though. You obviously play 4 matches in total. Again, the top 4 of these 5 teams advancing on to the playoffs. So still plenty left here for Team Spirit specifically, but we'll see how they challenge later on today even. But our next matchup will be Vega Squadron versus KP, and that'll be coming up shortly here. So going to wrap things up, head into the break. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. We got Vega versus KP. Going to be our next best of 1 here in the group stages. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.